breakfast at Fishinese. Let's wrap up the Cowboys Tuesday evening practice at the Ford Center right there inside the Star with some Jaden Blue stuff and much, much more. Notes from the evening workout. A good, fun crowd, many of whom, a few of whom, more than a few, chanting at Jerry Jones to get him to sign Micah Parsons, and Micah Parsons is part of our notebook here as well. I'm Mike Fisher, your trusty and trusted reporter. This is the Fishbowl. That is the Star. Cowboys will do it again tonight, and we'll be in the building, of course, and bring all the information to you as it happens here on the Fish Report and also at cowboyscountry.com and on our Substack, which is business booming thanks to you, fishsportscowboys.substack.com. And away we go, item by item by item on last night. Jaden Blue seems ready to go. All dressed out, pads and everything. Did not look like he had a hitch in his giddy-up. The Texas Longhorns rookie afterwards saying, I'm playing when it comes to Friday night. He did say, it's been rough for 2 weeks, but he said, I'm ready to showcase everything that I've got in the game. He said, I think I bring a lot of things to the table, not just in the running game and the passing game. All of it sounds good. All of it sounds true on paper. And it looked fine last night. Let's see it Friday at AT&T Stadium, preseason game 3, the exhibition finale with the Falcons in town. No Dak Prescott on Friday. That's the plan. I endorse the plan. But even Schottenheimer, Cowboys head coach Brian Schottenheimer, acknowledges there's no perfect right answer here, that the debate is legitimate. He says, I think we've got all the offseason program, OTAs, you got training camp to look at guys, Dak Prescott and the rest. He said, it's a philosophy. You can agree or disagree. Our philosophy is this, which includes, of course, giving elbow room to the other guys to compete. So no Dak on Friday, but a lot of Dak on Tuesday. And I do think that we are slowly but surely getting over the idea that, he's got this nagging ailment or that one, or maybe not nagging. Maybe they won't go away, or they might pop. I hope that's not in his head. I don't think it's in his body. And maybe when we see him against the Eagles, we can get it out of our collective Cowboy Nation heads. Meanwhile, speaking of Dak Prescott, threw an not just over the shoulder, an over the head dime, an impossible throw to complete, but he did. Part of the reason it's impossible is because what receiver can go take it over the head while he's falling out of bounds and still tiptoe his way into making it a catch? The catch of camp, maybe, because this is still training camp, that was George Pickkins. That was extraordinary, and DallasCowboys.com has the video of it. By the way, no video allowed for the media. It's interesting because if you're a fan, you can take video and pictures and put them all over Twitter. If you're a media guy, you cannot. But hey, it's a policy. This was a bullseye throw. This was a incredible catch. And I'm going to put it down as the George Pickens catch of camp. By the way, Holden trying to make his bid for a roster spot because one's certainly open now. Jonathan Mingo with the injury going to be probably moved to an injury list and be out for the first month of the regular season. Holden had 3 catches, so he jumped out in the receiver group. Item, Micah Parsons was not there in the early going, causing many to speculate, is something good happening? Is something bad happening? What about a divorce? The idea that he's still nursing a sore back. He did show up later in the workout, so he didn't practice, of course, but he was present. I'm going to speculate that maybe his back soreness is the result of him thinking he's being stabbed in it. I just made that up myself. I'm a professional sports writer. Item, safeties played well. Izzy played some safety as kind of the third guy. And of course, we know that the Cowboys have in Bell and Thomas a couple of kids they like. Donovan Wilson was everywhere. Tackles for loss last night. And then Malik Hooker, who I said this the day they got him. This goes back a few years now. He's been a playmaker his whole life. elementary school, high school, college. All he's ever really needed, and I mean premium playmaker. He just finds himself around the ball and knows what to do with it. He forces a fumble last night, recovers the fumble, and it would have been a scoop and score for him. So the safeties with a good night, and then a lot of work for Izzy as they try to figure out exactly what his role might be in the safety group or in the defensive backfield. Item, let's jump back to running backs. Javonte Williams got first crack. I'm working on the assumption that they keep him in bubble wrap again Friday. That's the way they've treated him all summer. He got 6 snaps. Jaden Blue got 4 snaps. Miles Sanders got 3 snaps. Then came Deuce, Malik, and Mafa. Miles Sanders is a very difficult guy to tackle in space. Jaden Blue might be that. What we know about Jaden Blue is you get in a foot race, he's going to win it. What does he do in terms of elusiveness? What does he do in terms of being able to turn a corner? He's going to discover maybe Friday night, maybe not until the regular season starts. Outrunning guys when you're in college is different than trying to outrun guys in the pros. Miles Sanders elusive, Jaden Blue fast, and we will monitor. Item injury, Scooney got hurt, and we don't know the specifics of it as I speak to you now. Of course, Brevin Spanford, so he's also hurt. So Princeton Fant and Rivaldo Fairweather and Tyler Neville, they all got into the mix a little bit. But we will check out what's going on with Scooney. By the way, Tyler Neville got himself into a scuffle with friend of the show, Sugar's friend, Damone Clark. That was broken up pretty quickly. No fighting or else, says Shoddy. Item, Joe Milton. And this remains one of the major stories of the Cowboys camp. Can he really be a number 2 quarterback and go in and bust drive if Dak ever goes down? Should he get all the snaps or most of the snaps on Friday? Do you need to let Will Grier play, number 1, so he can contend and compete for the number 2 job, and number 2, as many people have suggested, so you can get a real look at your wide receivers? I don't know that I want to bother if he's going to be the number 3 quarterback, but he throws a better ball right now than the number 2 quarterback, and I need that because I want to judge Holden. That's not important to me. But I see a lot of people putting it into the bag of consideration, so we do it here. Milton looked fine, kind of like he did at training camp. Maybe it's when the lights go on that he's got to figure out to do it just like practice. Do it the same time, same way, all the time, every day. He had fine throws. He took off running one time. It was about a 30-yard run. So it's in there. Can the Cowboys bring it out in time, not just for Friday, but in time for the regular season when, if Dak Prescott goes down, somebody can go into the game and at least maintain the positive, potentially, hopefully, positive things that the Cowboys are doing. And finally, the quote of the day / night. And I talk a lot about how the Cowboys' culture is Jerry. It's not the quarterback. It's not the coach. It's not the locker room. It's not the fans. Although you do your part. The Cowboys' culture is Jerry. Shoddy is not going to fix that. But there can be personal responsibility from Schottenheimer and everybody else underneath the umbrella of the Jerry culture. Here's the quote from Shoddy. If we haven't done well enough, I'll stand up here and own it. And now talking about where the Cowboys are now, because they are coming off a couple of, 31-21 loss, 31-13 loss, where nothing looks very good. And I know it's just preseason, but they're giving up 31 points a game, and they're not, and they can't score. So that seems like a bad combination. And Schottenheimer says, I've never said we're in a great spot right now. But I'm also not concerned. There's no good in him hitting the panic button. It's too early for that. What good would it do anyway? And there's certainly no good in announcing it. So like you said the other day, we're not hitting the panic button. We're hitting the work button. And they'll go back to that tonight inside the Star, Ford Center. Fans are allowed in, of course. It's kind of a party atmosphere, kind of a state fair atmosphere out on Charlotte's front lawn. So we'll be a part of that. If you see us, holler at us. And otherwise, come see us not only at the Fish Report, but at cowboyscountry.com and fishsportscowboys.substack.com. Fish out.